Hi everybody. We all know Facebook is the giant, powerful company that it is today, but very few of us know that when Facebook actually came out in the market, it was neither the first social media product in the market nor was it the best social media website in the market. In fact, when Facebook came out, there was already another social media website that had about 1 million users. And it was already one of the most visited websites on the internet. But somehow, within the next 4 years, Facebook made history by overtaking this huge company and went on to become one of the most powerful companies on the planet. And the reason why this happened has got some very important business learnings for each one of us, because more often than not, we all must have had a brilliant idea, but then after doing a little bit of research, we tend to realize that there is already a giant company as our competitors doing the exact same thing as we plan to do. And that could be demotivating. But guys, what if I told you that instead, you should be super happy to build a business if there is already a giant competition in the market? And the fact that it will actually provide you a golden opportunity to build a business. The question is, how is it even possible, and how can you go on to build a business to compete with $1 billion company? The answer to this question lies in a story that dates back to 2004. This is when a social media website called MySpace had arrived on the internet. It was just like the modern-day Facebook, which allowed people to form connections and helped them find new friends on the internet. And within just 1 year, MySpace became a sensation in the making, with more than 1 million users signing up within the first month itself. And by the end of the year, MySpace had 5 million users. This is when in 2005, it got purchased by a gigantic media company called News Corp for $580 million. Because somehow, News Corp was one of those few organizations that actually realized the potential of social media ads back in 2005. And the day this purchase happened, it marked the beginning of the capitalistic internet era. During this time, Facebook was just a college student website which was open to only Ivy League students in the US. But on the other side, from 2005 to 2008, MySpace became the most visited social networking site in the world. And in 2006, it even surpassed Google to becoming the most visited website in the world. But something happened in the next 4 years, because of which the same MySpace had 115 million users, while on the other side, Facebook, the college community website, had more than 1 billion users. The question is, what exactly happened, and how did two companies, in spite of being in the exact same space, doing the exact same thing, have such a vast difference in their success? The first reason is based on the fundamental concept of social network and human psychology, which is known as the triadic closure property. And this is something that was suggested by a German sociologist named Georg Simmel in 1908. In simple words, what it means is, if there are three people, Arnold, Jeff and Ronaldo, if Arnold knows Jeff and Jeff knows Ronaldo, then automatically Arnold will form a connection with Ronaldo, and Arnold will be more inclined to trust Ronaldo. So, basically, if A knows B and B knows C, then A is more inclined to form a connection with C, eventually leading to speed of trust. And you must have observed this while you used Facebook or Instagram. That is, when you get a request from a person who has 200 mutual friends, you easily tend to accept their request. At the same time, if you get a request from a person whom you possibly know but has got 0 mutual friends, there's a little bit of skepticism that pops in. This is how the triadic closure property plays out. In case of MySpace and Facebook, the major drawback with MySpace was that it did not allow users to use their real names as their usernames, and because of this, although you could meet new people on the internet through similar interests, you couldn't really tell who exactly are you chatting with. So, this kinda turned into a fine mix of privacy and creepiness. But on the other hand, Facebook insisted on getting people to use their real names as their usernames. Why? Because, as legend has it, it was meant to be that way because Mark Zuckerberg believed in helping people build authentic connections through digital technology. And regardless of the truth behind this statement, the strategy of using real names turned out to be Facebook's X factor, because of which, apart from connecting with people in their own respective social circle, users actually started to expand their network to form second and third connections. And this is where the mutual friend feature came in handy, and because of this, the networks on Facebook became far more deep-rooted and helped people expand their connections beyond their social circle. And this is the reason why in 2006, when Facebook opened itself to the general public, people flocked to create a Facebook account in spite of having a MySpace account already. Now, this begs the question, if this was just the simple feature of using real usernames that distinguished Facebook from MySpace, then why didn't MySpace incorporate that feature and kill Facebook altogether? In fact, this is what Facebook did with Snapchat, right? By introducing Instagram stories. In fact, the MySpace team even had the backing of a large corporation like News Corp, right? Then why couldn't they incorporate this feature? Well, as it turns out, this is exactly why they couldn't incorporate the feature in their website. Because News Corp turned MySpace into a proper corporate organization which had to follow protocols and procedures, and more than the ideas and the execution, the focus went to register quarterly profits, yearly profits, and all the other corporate procedures. In fact, even if the MySpace team came out with a brilliant idea, it first used to get scrutinized by the lawyers, then by so-called experts, and then a series of meetings used to be held, and then a series of emails to be sent, and it just kept going back and forth. And in the process, things got so slow that the ideas just got lost into bureaucracy, and even something as simple as adding a feature also took forever to be executed. While on the other side, Facebook was being run by a bunch of college students who could add, change, modify and delete features overnight, and make major modifications to the website without any formalities. And unfortunately, finally, when MySpace incorporated the option of real usernames, it was already 2008, and Facebook had already